What I do is simple. I help people get control of their warring emotions inside them so that they can simply do what they want to do. It really is just that simple. But what the hell does that mean? Usually, there's two different parts of us fighting for control at any given time. So for example, if you want something, if you want to eat healthier, or stop procrastinating, or not being so angry, or to have a healthier relationship with your partners, to work out more, to feel like you're a better parent, no matter what it is that you want, represented here by my right hand, you have a reason why you're not doing that now. This is represented by my left hand, the but. So you want something, but this is in the way. And so these two just go back and forth. The buts are usually simple things, right? If you want to eat healthier, but I don't like the taste of vegetables. I want to stop procrastinating, but I feel so overwhelmed. I want to have a healthier relationship with my partner, but people, aka the person that you're talking about, really pisses me off sometimes. I want to stop being so angry, but our communication is off and everything I do seems to be wrong. I want to work out more, but I just don't have the time. So it's whatever you want comes up against a but, a reason that sounds logical to you. In other words, you have a want, something that you want to improve on generally, and you have at least one strong reason why you're not doing that thing. And they just go back and forth, constantly pushing. And people in self-help industry are like, you just need more self-discipline, which is just your right hand pushing harder to one side. And sometimes it works. Sometimes this hand wins. Very infrequently, but sometimes it does work. This hand, the reason, the excuse, just gets tired of fighting all the time. This keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And eventually this hand is like, you know what, I'm a little tired. And it sits out for a bit. And after months, sometimes years, it finally wins. But this hand, your want, even if it wins like that, even if it wins through self-discipline, never feels secure. It never feels secure because it knows that any given time, this reason can come back and start fighting again. And if it does come back, it can come back rested and rejuvenated, ready to fight back again. So you feel like you have to constantly be vigilant. You have to watch what you do like a fucking hawk all the time, and you never have peace of mind. But yeah, sure, you've won. What typically happens more often though, is that there's just this constant battle. You might win a little bit, and then this side might win a little bit, and you just go back and forth, and you feel like you're constantly fucking working towards this end that you want, and you feel like there's always something obstructing you. And there might be moments and times, whole periods of times, maybe a couple months where you're winning and it feels good and you feel proud about yourself. But then a couple months later, the other side takes over and you start feeling shitty about yourself because you have this concept that all you need is more self-discipline, more willpower, more motivation. And if you had that, then this side would just win. But you know, if you let your guard down, then bam, this side's gonna win. And so you never feel secure in what you're doing. You never feel enough. You never feel like you're doing enough or you yourself are enough and complete as a person. And you internalize that shit. You internalize the bullshit saying that you don't have enough willpower. You don't have enough self-discipline. And so what I do is I help people win this battle. Not with the same bullshit that hasn't worked in 1,000 different ways so that you're constantly fighting, but instead, I show you how you actually win and that you can feel rested after you win. Without this fucking constant need for more willpower or self-discipline or this constant need for motivation. Because you know how hard you've been working with that and it hasn't gotten you to where you want to go. So how do you do that? How do you actually stop fighting? You see, when you want something, you know you want it for a good reason. Your but though is a strong emotional reason. It's a story that you've held on to for a long time where you just don't feel like if you gave this up, something bad in your life would happen. And with each but you have, each reason that you have to not do that thing that you want to do, it gets stronger and stronger. So how do you get them to stop fighting? You give your strong emotional story what it wants. You might not even know what it wants right now, but I can guarantee you if you get to the bottom of what it wants, it will stop fighting you and you can just do the thing that you want to do without any resistance and without fear that it's going to come back. It's not that hard of a process. It does take some learning, but it's not that hard once you get used to it. And when you do that, when you provide it with what it wants, instead of this constant battle, it just stops fighting. It doesn't feel like it needs to fight you anymore because it doesn't feel like it needs to constantly be there to keep you safe in some way. And so you just do what you want to do. Now, the other hand, if it's been fighting for so long, might go out and seek other reasons why it doesn't want to do the thing. It might seek out other battles, other excuses, other reasons why you're not doing the thing. It might do this, especially in situations when you're trying to change anger. It feels like if you're just not as angry, something really bad is going to happen in your life. So it goes seeking out more anger. But what much more often happens is that this side stops fighting also. And your complete self, just do the things that you want to do. The other side rests also. What this means is you stop making these fucking moralistic judgments about who you are and whether or not you're good enough or you're a bad person, and instead you just do what the fuck you want to do. Imagine going through life knowing that you can change anything that you want to do anything that you want to do, and you don't have to be at this constant war with yourself. You didn't need to have this constant battle for time and supremacy. And instead, you simply did what you know you want to do, what you feel like you should do, but it's an actual want, without all the inner bullshit and fighting. That's what I help people do. That's what I can help you do. So if there's something in your life that you knew, if you could just do this one thing, so much more in your life would be better, feel better. You would feel better about yourself. You would be more secure in who you are, being who you want to be, and have more confidence in the actions that you are taking on a consistent basis. Not because you might get some outside results, but because of who you are being, the things that you are doing each and every day. Being able to do that consistently without this inner fucking bullshit, without the worries, without the constant anxiety of being good enough, then I invite you to work with me. Since this might be the first time that you've heard something like this or even thought of doing something like this, then take your time. Just simply email me, d@nobschange.com. Simply say, I'd like to hear more. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Maybe we set up a free call. Maybe I point you to something or someone else that might better serve you. I don't know, but either way, we'll be in touch. If in that email you want to add more about what your specific situation is, feel free to do so. But again, no obligation to do so. Either way, my hope for you is that you stop having these internal battles when you don't need to, and that you do the things that you know you're capable of doing without all the internal bullshit. If you have any questions for me, again, feel free to reach out at d@nobschange.com.